So, Matt, from your experience, how skills and knowledge from computer science have been beneficial in the construction industry? What applications have you found so far? And what are the main benefits you've already experienced?
I think one of the interesting things is that we as an industry have very unique workflows that need very unique systems and processes to satisfy. There are some similarities. I remember seeing on one of Ross's podcasts actually before that, logistics is, it's a challenge in construction, but it's also a challenge in events management. And there are some synergies between those two. But then there are things like the way we manage cost and contracts is completely unique to construction. There is nothing like it. So we need construction systems to do that. A lot of those things, but they are discipline by discipline. So you might have a best-in-class planning system, a best-in-class cost system, a best-in-class logistics management system, and you'll be falling over yourselves in license fees and shadow IT trying to keep track of this. So one of the first things I started doing was just simply looking at these systems and saying, what data can I pull out of them to communicate with the rest of the team what is happening within those systems without them having to learn or understand or have a license for those systems. And the same applies to the 3D model, which is what a lot of what I was doing at 3D Repo is thinking, okay, we've got this model. It has a lot of uses. What additional uses are there for it? So whether that is just communicating health and safety issues on site or doing a virtual induction through the model for people that come on site, or very high level 4D sequences for people just to understand, what phase we're in and what phase we're going to next. And all of those things require you to look at these data sets at a data level, try to figure out how you can link them together without creating more work than you're kind of solving. And I think it was just kind of a slow growth from there. I think it's one of those things that this is what I think about a lot of the skills in construction to do with digital processes. I don't think you learn them in one go. I don't think you could go away and do a course for 6 months and come back and say, I know how to do this now. You need to, have some exposure to what a database is, what good data looks like, what clean data practices are. And you need to see it fail, and you need to see what happened and why it failed. And then you need to make sure you don't do that again next time.
So resilience to be one of those skills, perseverance. No.
And it's an unfortunate thing, but we as humans just learn better when we fail. And it's one of the best ways to learn.
Yeah, but I think that, for me, you mentioned logistics and other industries. And I think that we do things in very unique ways, not necessarily the right, more efficient, optimal way to do it, just traditional way and conventional ways, right? And most of the processes we have are not that unique. They may be slightly different. We might make them extra harder, but there's a lot of technology out there from other industries. I think the main challenge at the moment is the lack of these profiles that understand the technology that is being used in other industries to be able to bring it and adjust it or implement it. Some doesn't even need to be adjusted. It just needs to be implemented there. And when I start to create those connections, we are professional experts in construction, so we are very aware of what works, what doesn't, what is a pain, what is a struggle, and what could be improved. So we have plenty of challenges identified. And I feel a little bit like my child when I look at those and everything is new and everything is opportunities, everything is a discovery, so exciting. That's the main driven. Like everything is a huge motivation of, I know we have this problem and I know how to solve it very easily. I think that it's not about changing all the industry by creating more software. I think the issue is not to solve and try to digitize the entire thing just by creating the tool. I think it's more about targeting very small steps in all our processes that can just be improved and where the solution is tangible straight away, and it's so obvious once you are have the knowledge and the understanding of how these little stones in the path have been overcome in other industries, and you just start bringing them as solutions. to the team, and it's so rewarding, really, because the team lifestyle is radically and drastically improved straight away.
Yeah, they need to see and feel success, and then know that they want that feeling again, and then strive to be successful again, and then.
Yeah, and it's valuable straight away. So once you vote their confidence or their love, right, then you can go and scale up into greater improvements and more drastic targets in the process that may require their collaboration.
Yeah, and I subscribe to a concept called the theory of constraints, which I read about a couple of years ago, and it's really interesting in terms of just you look at your process, you look at what you're doing, and you just identify a single bottleneck, and you just throw all of your resources towards fixing that one bottleneck, or all within reason. And then once you fix that bottleneck, you'll find another bottleneck, and then you go after that one, and you do it one by one. Because at a strategic level, you don't know what your second, third, or fourth bottleneck is going to be until you've unlocked the first one. So there's no sense in trying to plan for it, because you literally don't know what it's going to be. And that was something that I learned. I was really lucky to have the experiences I had when I worked at 3D Repo. I came in to a team that had already been running for 4 years, very, very high quality software engineers. And they had this process, which I'd never seen in construction, which was simply, you've got your roadmap, you've got all the tasks that need to be done, but the developers only see one at a time. Well, they see more than one at a time, but they are focused on one at a time. And they just put all their effort into closing out that one problem, whether it's a new feature, whether it's a bug. And they do that to the best of their abilities, and then they move on to the next one. Whereas I think in construction, we have a tendency to kind of try and solve every problem at once, and not solve any problem.
And put pressure on the people solving them. So, then just no pressure at all. No. So in this case, that could be actually some of the knowledge transfer that can be transferred between industries, right? Which is the process, agile processes, or the way of functioning with, having a record of all your bugs or all your next tasks to be overcome, which is very much from the IT industry, the computer side, IT really, where they track all the bugs and all the records, and then they just distribute the responsibility and start going and, you do this, you do that, we have this response time, etc. That's actually something that it could be beneficial for the construction industry to organize our processes a little more, right? And put a little also the right responsibles to solve the issues that are tracked.
And it's funny because we focus a lot on trying to apply that logic to the act of construction. So you go to a construction site now, I think a lot of sites I visit, lean construction is there. We've got make ready needs meetings and look ahead planning and all that stuff. That logic is very rarely applied to the prelim staff sitting in the office.
Yeah.
And to say, right, what is everyone's to-do list this week? What are you doing? Who's blocking you? What do you need to do? And that's, a pretty simple fix.
It's planning, right? It's planning, but just not on someone's head. It's more like actually putting there available to everybody. Everybody is following, and everybody is an active contributor of the work in progress. Indeed. You mentioned the bottlenecks, and it feels like it's one problem after the other. So you really need to be into working hard. Don't get me wrong. I think that the shifting careers is for those that like working, or at least are not afraid of it. Because it really requires a lot of work, right? It requires going out of your comfort zone. The career, the profession you've been working for years, and suddenly you start shifting into something totally new that requires learning, requires trial and error, requires sometimes to run alone, with your only companion being Google and Google search or the like. Sometimes you don't have teammates to actually go and reach out for help to support you. But it is also the land of opportunities. The fact that you are the only or one of the very few team members that have that skill set